Alright, sorry about that. I am having some technical difficulties apparently tonight. Yeah, my whole computer just crashed. That was fun. Anyway, I'm back. If you are here or anyone is here, comes back, I'd appreciate it. Whatever, that's fine. We'll just keep going from where we were at. I got to start over on this whole project here. So what I'm trying to do tonight, let me reiterate what's going on because this is a new video, new take. Everything is fresh from the get-go. So hello, if anyone is new to the channel, I am Captain Energy. This is my first time streaming in a long time, or second time streaming in a long time. The first time my computer crashed, and that was fun. And so I'm here right now, and I'm just going to we're going to do some work in my in Reason to support the seek track. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build a combinator so that I can change channels in Reason and be able to play different channels on my seek track quicker than if I normally would basically change the dial and change the settings on my controller. So let me show you what I mean. Let's take a look here, and we're going to go, we'll drop a combinator in here real quick, and this should be a quick little example of what we're going to get to as this comes along. Come on, baby. Drop combinator right there, and I'm going to go back to instruments, and we're going to grab a MIDI instrument, which is just a MIDI out, so it can communicate out. And I'm going to hit the editor. We're going to go to configure, and we're going to get rid of all of this right now. And if I go ahead and change this right now where that's where I want it, I believe. Double check here, double checking. Yes, that would be where I want it. So if I play this right now, I should be let's just change this channel because it can't get to that because alright, there we go. Channel 1 works, it just I can't remember what keys it's on. And this is not helping me at all. I will figure that out after the channel situation there, but none of those. Alright, well, the situation is that I want to be able to change the MIDI channel here on my seek track to whatever I want it to be without actually touching the seek track. Now, why would I want to do this? Basically, in a nutshell, when you're using the seek track and you're using it with an external controller, you end up having to do a lot of changes to make sure that the seek track is getting the signal it needs from your controller so that it can catch the notes and you can play it basically like an instrument. Well, in order to do that, one way to stop that from being a problem of becoming tedious and having to go into my controls on my control keyboard and find the MIDI connector and then change the MIDI option and select the channel and then be sure everything works and that type of thing, is to have an interface that will let me jump between channels quicker. So that's what we're going to build today. So let's go over here. First, we're at the seek track. I'm just going to go to the GUI editor real quick, and we're just going to be sure that, let's go to drums, and I want to turn this kick to synthesizer. I'm going to change, actually I'm going to leave this one on drums, drum kit. Sorry. And we'll leave this one on drum and that one on drum. This is how I typically do it. And then I have this as a synth. All right, good. I already did this then. That did get saved when everything crashed. So that's good news. All right, now let's go over to synth 1, and we're going to say what we got it set to a piano. Synth 2, I'm going to change that to some kind of a bass, I think, right here. And we'll go with a, maybe we'll go with a brain bass. I don't know what that actually sounds like off the top of my head. But now what I want to do is I want these buttons to trigger the change between channel 1 and channel 2, so that when I play my keyboard, my notes will transmit to the right channel. Right now they're going to channel 1, which has nothing, because channel 1 is pointing to my drum machine, which is not doing anything for me at this moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, we've got, let's see, channel 1 through 3, and we want this to be channel 4, we'll say. So let's go over here, and I'm going to go to exit, and we're going to take, add the, there we go. Going to add the switch here, switch number 4, and we're going to change it to work on to the MIDI channel. So it's going to send data to the MIDI channel change, or change the MIDI channel on the interface. So if I go this and bring this to channel 3, which is actually 4, because it's a base 0 type of count, or base 0 count. So 0 is 1, every other number is 1 higher type thing. So if we do that, and now we go over here to, let's see, we go here, and I press this button. Now we have a piano playing. And channel, the next one we added was the, let me add another switch here so we can actually use it. Bring these over here real quick. We'll rearrange these nicer and all that in a minute. Right now this is just kind of functional at this point, because after my computer bit the dust a minute ago, that was not fun. You know, I almost literally got on Apple.com in the interim there and just ordered a Mac. I'm just like, you know what, man, I am so tired of this thing being a pain. Windows has been not great since Microsoft started doing monkeying with Windows 11 a lot on me. So, and I just ran some cleaning software, or like that's built in to restore and be sure that it was like a healthy setup, and that still did not work apparently. So, all right, so let's go over here. We're going to go down to the next. We'll add channel 5, switch 5, and that's going to go to MIDI channel again, and we're going to go to channel 4. And I'm just going to drag this up here, and if I do this, now what should happen, the one thing that kind of stinks in these combinators is the button states don't react. I can't set a bunch of buttons to one group like you could in radio buttons, for example, and so only one can be set to on. So unfortunately, when I click this, even though it says it's off, I'm still piano. And now when I click this one, it says it's off, it's going to the bass sound. Now the cool part about this, though, even though, you know, that given little thing there, you can manage it if you want to yourself. So you could be, for example, if you knew you were on channel 4 and you want to go to channel, 3, you could just turn this off and then go there. Your call if you want to go that route. We could also go another totally different direction with this, which would be that we use a slider and then make a graphic indicator of the 16 channels. As it slides down, you would know that, here was, between here and here is this channel, this is that channel, and that would be fine, but it doesn't look as nice. Waiting for links to give me what I want, then buy from Microsoft from a music product. Dude, Matt, okay, so yeah, I am testing right now Bitwig on a Linux box, and it is pretty nice. I don't know, man. If only I just don't know what's going to happen with my plugins if my VSTs will work. I haven't got there yet to try them. I've just been playing with the trial, and I actually contacted them to ask about getting a copy if they what they did for non uh, non direct product upgrades, and they told me nothing. But then I found out that they do have a cross product upgrade where for $300 instead of $400 I can because I have Cubase, because I have Reason, those products qualify as a cross platform upgrade. They don't take your license or anything, so that's good. But I was actually looking at that. I might actually pick up Bitwig, and I was going to do a whole video series on that because I don't know, man. And the other thing is, do I go to Mac? I mean, I could go to Mac. I feel like that might be a lot more reliable at this point, but I don't know. Bitwig is nice. Oh, but yeah, you're using it. You're using it on Windows. Is that what you're saying? Sorry. Yeah, the Linux one, it looks amazing on Linux. It looks great. I was like, this is the most, I don't know, visually, it's like the most beautiful editor on there. I've tried a bunch of the different ones that were available, and I was just like, oh man, this thing just is not ready for prime time yet for this type of work. And some people were saying stuff to the effect of, Bitwig won't be your, you know, it's not up to snuff like compared to like some of the other DAWs in general. And I was like, I don't know, man. It seems pretty up to snuff to me from what I can tell. I don't know, from the type of music I make. I mean, I'm not running I have a recording studio, but I'm not running a recording studio, if you know what I'm saying. It's not like I have a million people coming in and out using my gear and needing to, port their projects over. It's just me. So, anyway, yeah. So, and that grid setup there, I really liked that a lot. I was thinking, man, there's just no winning, is there? I just saw that the Apple OS comment there. Yeah, there's just no winning. It sounds like I don't know what to do. Like I feel like everybody is just kind of like, you know, just stomping all over things right now. I don't even know why. And Microsoft really needs to get their act together because I mean they're going to be. I already know what I've been hearing is like Lenovo and Asus and HP, Dell, and I can't remember who else are all dropping them as their primary operating system offering. So if you're getting one of those devices for work type stuff, you will pretty soon basically you'll be charged extra if you want Windows because the cost to support Windows is so much greater for these companies than it is with other operating systems. And Linux has been pretty damn good. I mean, as far as like stability, for an operating system that I basically paid nothing for essentially because I'm using Ubuntu, and it took a little getting used to and wrap my head around. Yes, I do have an MPK Mini 4. By the way, yes, I have right here actually, right next to me. Well, you can't see me because I don't have the camera on. Hold on, let me fix that real quick. I did have the camera on, but when the computer crashed, it lost my new camera settings, so I'll fix that for you guys so you can see me again. Let's see. Activate. We in there? Delete this real quick. We'll start afresh. View capture. Sorry about that. There we go. And sorry about that. I'm going to fix this some, not the whole screen here. I'll just drop me over here in the corner. Let me just throw my filter on that so filter this. I just set this up a minute ago or a little while ago, and everything broke when the computer crashed. There we go. Boom. Look at me, all round and happy. Anyway, and let me just adjust this camera just a smidge. There we go. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I've got the, right, it's right here actually, right by me on the desk. Right now I am hooked up to my MPK 249 though, which is my, I have this, it's pretty cool, it's red, it's one of the special edition ones that they had a while ago. Doesn't install any Windows setup. The Windows. Oh, what doesn't install any Windows setup? The MPK 249 software? Oh, you're talking about, okay. Yeah, I don't know. My machine's been very weird lately with the latest updates that came through from Microsoft. I had never had a problem with the machine at all. It's a Lenovo Legion desktop. The thing's insane. It's an i9 with 96 gig of RAM. I've got probably 16 terabytes of hard drive on here, four terabyte hard drives, and the it's got a 3080 graphics card, and all of a sudden everything's all getting crazy after the latest batch of updates. And I didn't even put them in on purpose. It just decided to update on me. I turned off auto updates, but something got through somehow. Yeah, thanks, Matt, for getting in on that. That's cool. Yeah, I kind of wish I could go back to Windows 10 though. Let me do a little more of this real quick while I'm here. 6, 7, okay. Yeah, oh, you like the VST3 when it works on the MPK Mini? Yeah, things are great when they work. It's when they don't. All right, cool. They're all set now. I'm just gonna save this before I have any other problems in case. Let's see. C track. Yeah, I'll be really bummed out to have if I have to had to give up Reason 2. That's the other side of Linux, by the way, for me. That's not vertical. I don't know why it does that. There we go. Nice. So there you go. This world needs a hero. Matt can turn your frown upside down. Hopefully, there. That's awesome. That is cool. All right, let's get some other buttons in here for the other synthesizers here, because there's still the other four knobs that I want to accommodate the AWM. Let me label these real quick. We'll just. Oops, sorry about that. Guess you can't use that as a desk for a minute there when I'm trying to read something. Alright, so we go to kick. Let's give it kick in one. Four. Oops, that's supposed to be 6. Alright, now we'll get the other buttons in here. Those, I know what's going on with that. Okay, I forgot. There we go. So this is what do you call it? In case as a. Oh, no worries. What do you call it? What was I going to say? As far as the Neo, by the way, I've heard there's one guy doing experiments. I can't remember his name, but there's one YouTuber who's experimenting with the Neo for music production, and he says it's pretty good. But he also says it's because it's only got 8 gig of RAM. That's the only problem with that device. You know what I mean? Because 8 gig isn't much. But I mean, I know I can tell you that my my what do you call it? Well, this is actually two here. I guess my iPad, which does pretty awesome. It's the same. I mean, it's basically similar to the same processor, or almost the same processor. The one I have is the original. Let's see, not the original Mac Pro, but the first time that they brought out the flat screen with the nice pen, the second pen that they brought out. It's that iPad Pro, and I mean it runs. I use Core Gadget on that all the time, and that thing is, it's very sweet. I mean, it's a very nice experience. So I mean, if I could even use that on the Neo, that's what I was thinking. I was like, even if I got a Neo and used that on there, that'd be pretty good. But I don't know how well it would. I mean, like fare for too much work as far as like Cubase or with Reason. I don't know. I mean, I'd try it. I don't see why it would be that much of a problem. I feel like it'd be something that would have to be messed with, to see if it stood up to the task type thing or was up to it. My biggest problem is when I start looking at computers, I start going, oh, but for only this much more, I can get that, and for only this much more, I can get that. And pretty soon, I'm at a $5,000 computer. You know what I mean? And I hate that. I really, really hate that about myself, because it's like I just get myself all wrapped up in like specs. Let's shorten that a little bit. And yeah, Cubasis is awesome on the M4, isn't it? I was like, this. I can't believe how powerful those machines are. And personally, I love the touchscreen. I really do. I love having the ability to tweak knobs and that type of thing on the screen. Touch interface is where it's at for me. I've always loved that. I wish I could do that with my PC more than I do. I mean, I don't have anything set up on this one to use touch at all, but I could. Most of the software doesn't really support it that way. It seems like anyway. It seems like it all just replicates mouse controls, unless you get yourself something like that. There's a whole desktop that they sell that does that type of thing. I can't think of the name of it, but let's try this out and see if this is letting me. Yes. Okay. So those ones will be blue, and that's fine. Let me see if these will work in the way I want them to. Oh no! Of course they're not working yet because you didn't actually add them to the control yet. All right. Let's fix that. Sidetracked myself there. All right, one AWM8, AWM9. We'll get the DX in here, and we'll add the sampler, and now we'll just go right here. Control. I've also been using a little bit of if you guys are familiar with Max on Ableton, I've been actually getting into developing with that. That is pretty cool. And I bought the add-on to be able to compile VSTs out of it. So I was like, that looks like it's got some potential there for really making some neat stuff. I haven't actually got to make anything, I'll say nothing too neat with it yet, but it's on the agenda. I've got some projects that I did here in Reason before. I built a bunch of interfaces for different Behringer synthesizers, so you could easily modify or edit patches or automate them as well. And I'm just going to save this. Wrong save button. That's what I want right there. I'm just updating my save, so in case anything goes wrong, I don't lose all this, because I've already lost this interface like 2-3 times. Once when I was building it before I got to make the video, and once live a little while ago. Not fun when you're sitting there and all of a sudden the computer just screen turns black and you're like, no. And then I didn't even know how to recover the stream, which I don't think I did recover. I think I started a new one with the same name, just couldn't get the other one back. Yeah, Apple does a lot of things different. I saw the using the storage different. It's true. I mean, it's funny because on my PC, I can't get by without like a certain size drive. I can't get by without two gig or 2 terabytes. Sorry, on my notebooks. Like that's my base level. But on my Mac, I for years was using a 512 and then went to a 1 terabyte. I have an M1 1 terabyte with 32 gig of RAM, which I've actually thought of bringing that down here and using that as my main machine. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's actually probably fine for it. I just don't really like the idea of having it as the notebook type thing. I'd rather have an actual dedicated desktop machine. I've thought about buying an M4 Max. Max is the one, right? No, Pro. An M4 Pro Mini or a Studio and going with the Max and using that down here. I feel like that would be pretty nice and fairly reliable. But yeah, just haven't done it. And also the advantage of them as far as like using less power and that type of thing is definitely a cool benefit to the Macs, because can tell you utility wise cost of electricity has gone up stupidly in the past couple of years. I mean, there's one lady I saw on if you know that app next door, because I try and help my neighbors out and stuff, that type of thing, and they whatever, like if I have something to give away a piece of furniture or something, or just someone's looking for a place, a recommendation to go grab a meal or whatever. I mean, I like to help people out if I can, so I get on there and I'll see what's happening. And one lady was saying, how do I fix my electric bill? It went from $240 a month to $600 a month. I'm thinking, oh my god, she must live one of those. We live near a bunch of houses that are heated by electric. And I'm like, do you have electric heat? And she's like, says yes. And I'm like, yeah, you're just kind of screwed. Sorry. That's the way it is, unfortunately. I shouldn't have said that word. But they just kind of hosed at that point. You got to, I mean, her best bet would probably be to call it one of these energy companies in. My son-in-law works for one of them that does home evaluations. Like they'll come in and check your house for leaks and insulate your attic better for you and all that kind of thing. And then that will, result in some saved electricity. Hopefully, usually anyway. But I'm going to change the background of this to orange just because the seat track is orange and I like it. I'd save that. Alright, well with that done, well to this point it's not done, but with that working now, I can actually just jump around, and now I could more easily jump from channel to channel on my seat track, because normally I'd have to change my, like I said earlier, you'd have to change the MIDI channel on the dial on the controller. Now I can just literally use this kind of as an intermittent type piece to jump me around channel to channel, which will make making music a lot more pleasant on the seat track. I mean, I know it's a DAW-less type setup, and DAW-less is great, but unfortunately, I'm down here in the studio a lot. I don't get to move around as much as I'd like to, as far as running around and make music other places. So it's kind of nice to be able to make it a little more, uh, you know, need better accommodations in that way, like make it a little faster to work with the Seek Track. It's a lot of fun, that device. And tomorrow we got, actually Tuesday, we got Ableton is your, it's on your to-do list. Ableton's nice. Yeah, Ableton. I don't know what it is about Ableton, by the way, but there's something about it that just does not. I mean, one side of me is like, this is really cool. When I get into it and start playing with it, and the ability to launch clips and that type of thing is really neat. But the other side of it is like, it just seems like getting that stuff, getting things together in there is just so not intuitive. It's not. If I feel like I'm more in a spreadsheet than I am a music making program when I'm in there. It feels like Excel instead of being like a creative environment. Even though it's pretty good once you get into it a little bit. And the other part is because I don't get to use it that often. I mean, when I want to make music, I kind of want to go for the most performative, fastest way to get it done. You know what I mean? Cubase I've been using since 1990, I don't know, 394, in that neighborhood. Like, since way back. I used to work for CompUSA, and I got my first copy as a promotional copy when they came in to demo the product. And so I called them, and they, they used to, was an influencer actually before I was an influencer. There were no influencers yet, but I was like in Boston and recommending their software to everybody, because people, all there was that I knew of anyway at the time was that and Cakewalk, and I thought Cakewalk was an atrocity. Hold on, Old Lotus, yes, dude. I was just like, I used to work for Lotus, actually. That's so funny. Yes, exactly. Lotus 123, boom. Lotus 123, Ableton, boom, same thing. Yeah, I used to. That was one of my favorite jobs, actually, working for Lotus till IBM bought them. Yeah, good times. But my favorite product from them was Ami Pro. But yeah, I don't know, man. Ableton just is like a very, like, when I get into Reason here, I mean, I feel pretty good. I know what I'm looking at. You know what I mean? I got my rack up here. I've got my sequences down here. I can go down and here we go. Here's my editor, my piano roll. I know what's what. Everything is good. Even it took a little bit of getting used to a couple of changes they made here. In this latest edition, where they moved a bunch of these controls to the side, and I think they did that to be more like Ableton in that way, because Ableton has that where they have things on the side there where but but Cubase, I don't know, it's just kind of, I've been using it so long, it's hard for me to not compare everything to Cubase. And Reason I've been using basically since 2000, when they introduced it. I had one friend who showed it to me, and he let me borrow his for a while, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm not using it for anything. I'm just messing around with it. But try it out." So I tried it out for a while, and then I backburned it for a while, and then I ended up buying, because I was still using Cubase, and I ended up buying it again, buying it for myself at I think version 3 was my first full purchase. So it was a while, but I mean, I did get back to it, and I used some kind of a light version that came with a book I bought, and it was almost like a CE type thing, like a community edition, whatever. It did a few things, and this is before we even had. Let me think. This was before we even had audio in there. It was just music, and then they brought out a product called Record. I think that came out with version 5, where they actually started to do audio, but you had to buy the two separate products separately, and then they integrated when they got at your computer. But yeah, it's cool stuff. Been an interesting journey. But yeah, we got. Are you guys? Anyone is who's here? Is it just you and me right now, Matt? It might be. Let me see who's here. Oh, hold on. Canadian moderation participants. Yeah, it's just me and you. I was gonna say have you looked at all at the or are you interested at all in the MPC sample? Just curious. That I mean, I've got several MPC devices, and the it's definitely a cool looking little unit. It looks old school, but it's gonna be small. Like the if you look at the pads on it, and you've seen the pads on the oops, bumping into the microphone here. If you've seen the pads on the MPK Mini 4, they're the same pads. So basically, they're slightly smaller than the old MPC pads. It's going to be my estimation based on the size of the pads in the image, and compared to this unit here. Um, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Not seriously consider it. You're kind of like, maybe we'll see what happens. It looks like it's going to be probably about, if you cut this off right here at my hand, so you cut it off at this red line. You can't see the red line. Let me pull this back. Right here. It looks like it's going to be about 2/3 the size of the MPK keyboard. I kind of wish that they had gone one step further, charged a little bit more for it, and stuck a keyboard in it. If they stuck it in an MPK type keyboard with an MPC, you know, I just think that would have been amazing, and that would have been a huge other market they're going to miss out on, Doing Live 3, Key 61. Dude, me too. Those are my two MPCs. I have a Live 3 and a Key 61. And the Key 61 I love. On daily, don't have time. I got you. Okay, sorry. Sorry, I was like, what? Don't what? Yeah, I know what you mean. The reason I kind of make time is for everybody else, if you know what I mean. Because I'm trying to keep this YouTube thing going and trying to, you know, find the things to keep people interested in the channel. At the same time, I'm trying to make music and have a good time myself, and that's been kind of neat lately. I've been getting some tracks, done-ish. I got a couple I'm working on right now. I don't know if you saw the one I just put one out the other day, because I was talking about sound packs for Reason, because they have these every. Let me see. Let me show you this real quick. Do you use Reason? I'm not trying to sell you on Reason. I'm just going to show you this though. But I mean, I kind of am digging it a lot, even more than I did lately, because they've been having. I mean, I've been using this forever, like I said, but if you look here, they have these sound packs, and they release these weekly, and they have, if you go into them, like if I pick, we'll pick one that I don't have installed yet. We'll go to this one, mutated bass. Sorry, I was trying to read what it said. I'm like, what does that say? Oh, mutilated bass. Actually, not mutated. I'm missing 2 letters. They were too small and messed up looking. But if you go in here, you'll see they have like a bunch of patches, and what'll happen is they hire these people. This one's Kickback Couture. I know her. Okay, sorry, July. That's her name. They hire her, and they have several other people who make patches, and they put together bundles of, like, say, a dozen patches a week, and they'll have 2 or 3 packs a week, and you get them, and they're all kind of themed together. Like right now, I'm one of the types of music I love that is kind of not very supported, I guess, not very like popular anymore. But I just can't. I don't know, man. I just hear it and I just can't get enough of it. It just gets in my brain. Is Italo disco and Italo house, which is kind of like the '90s type dance music, and this pack just I had to make something with it. You know what I mean? So I was started a track. It's almost to the point that I just need to now like sit with it and arrange it. I've got all the basic components in there, some arrangement and some work. Cubase is Studio One, MPC software, MPC, and I have Ableton Live. I like the and I have Ableton Live. I have, I know what you mean. I have it too. Just haven't done a lot with it. Um, the MPC software I actually like too. I hope that they get that fixed though, man, to the point that it's actually up to, you know, you use the MPC software the most. Really nice. You know what I love about the MPC software is how well it integrates with the MPC itself, because it's like you just get that, like when I tried it out the first time, I'm like, I had gotten used to the MPC, and then when I tried the software, and it was kind of weird. It was almost like I didn't even need to touch the computer. It was just there. You know, the software was just being driven by this interface. And I'm like, this is the first time I've had that feeling of like, it was the first time I'd had that feeling of like actually really driving the software from without touching a mouse. You know what I mean? Without anything. The only time I needed to get to the mouse or use the mouse was when I wanted to bring something in that I needed to drop in type thing, like audio or whatever, if I was bringing external audio to make something with. The MPC software is pretty awesome, and I really can't wait till they get this up to version 4 and like iron out all the issues. Are you on the I guess I can ask this question. Are you on the beta? Are you like one of the beta not on the beta. Are you on the forums, the beta forums, like as far as are you one of the people who helps debug the stuff, the software? I am actually, because it's available. You can join. It's not like it's it's not big secret type thing or anything. It's just there. It's interesting because I'm not going to talk about any of the things they got going on, but if you do join, there's some really interesting stuff coming, and you get to find out about it ahead of time, which is cool. The control surface will give you the same feeling. You mean in general to what? Like as far as using Cubase or whatever with the control surface. Let's see. I have a looking back really. What's it called? Oh, Nectar Panorama, which is kind of like the same type of thing for Reason, but they kind of like let it slip a little bit. It's pretty good still. It still works pretty great with Reason. And I really liked the feel of that keyboard. It had a nice Fatar key bed, and it only had 12 pads. It didn't have the full 16 pads. It has sliders and that type of thing. The only problem I have with that thing is the yeah, I see. Yeah, because if you what do you call it? If you get on with them, like the organized beta testing part isn't as organized as you might think. It's more like instead of say 3.7 is the current version that's out right now, you'll get 3.7.1b and whatever, and they'll be like, we fixed this and that, and we need you to check these things. And they're not hardcore, like I don't get anything for it. You know what I mean? It hasn't helped me at all actually, because I've actually hoped that it might help I don't know, create a bridge that I could get access to things with Akai, but that didn't happen. So it's just been more of like I'm using this software anyway, so I guess I'll see what happens, and if it breaks, I'll have it a direct link to report the bugs. So that's basically what it's been. But I've also got to try out some of the last batch of plugins they brought out, that Pro Pack there. I was actually testing all that before it came out, which was very interesting, in finding problems with it. And there were a bunch of problems when when we first got it. Like, I was like, whoa, what is going on here? And also with some of the beta versions, the really beta versions of the MPC software, the stuff that wasn't, how can I explain that? It wasn't even strong enough to go to the public beta stuff. It was like backdoor beta stuff. There were some issues that we've kind of got through, and I don't know. It's kind of fun to be part of that because I mean I in a way, but I don't know. It's you can't really talk about it in a in the sense of like I can tell you about it now because the past stuff is what it was, but I can't like get into like new things that are coming or whatever. But you find out about them, which is kind of it's just kind of fun to know the inside part and know that when they're dropping, especially as a YouTuber, because it gives me that like just a little teeny edge to be like to get right on it as soon as you know you are not kidding. MPC3 did start up. It's it's getting better, but it did start out. I mean, I was really liking the previous version, the two whatever the last version was. I really thought was pretty good. And what got me to go to three? Oh, I remember what got me to go to three. What got me to go to three was the Native Instruments. The native when Native Instruments dropped their new sound packs or new instrument packs, you had to have three to run them. And I wasn't in the beta situation then, so I didn't know that that was going to be a thing. I was like, oh, I got to go to three to get these installed. Whatever. Let's try it out and go there. And then when I went to three, and I was like, whoa, what the heck just happened? Like everything was different. It felt like nothing really matched up anymore, and it felt like a totally very strange environment. Like the instruments were breaking and showing, like the interface was showing them across multiple panels and stuff. If you remember that, that was actually in the that was public stuff too. That was in the public beta. But yeah, it was busted up. Aren't checking the song mode really. I usually try and check everything, but I mean, like, well, I mean, if you bump into something, man, and you can either join and report your stuff that way, or if you bump into something, you want to let me know. I'm happy to let them know. If it's something that you see and or if they're fixing it, I'll let you. No, I can't let you know, but I can at least know that it's that's already being taken care of. You just don't know it yet, type thing. Sorry. Um, yeah, I think. Yeah, okay. So 215, that was the last version of 2 that they brought out. I'm guessing then. Because that was pretty reliable, I thought. I mean, I was really digging that a lot at the time, and you know, I like I said, and that was what actually won me over. Let me see, because I bought I have an MPC one also, which I don't really use. I should just sell it, but I have an MPC one also. I use it upstairs, I should say. I have it to when I'm like upstairs and I can't get down to the studio. Sometimes I'll plug it in my living room or dining room, whatever, and just use that with headphones and just hang out. If my wife is out or whatever, or if I'm waiting for stuff to happen, like for example, I'm cooking a big meal or whatever, and I'm waiting for stuff to be done in the oven. Um, yeah, that's the thing. That was the thing is that there was no draw. It just worked, and I don't know, man. And now it's like it feels like it's hit or miss, And I'm especially I have it in a high force. I'm especially kind of like wondering what the heck is up with the force. Are we? I mean, they're trying to make it into an MPC right now. It seems like that's the latest software that they brought out for it. Um, but and they also kind of they cannibalized both systems. Like MPC has kind of gone over to live. Some of the live stuff's gone over to the MPC. Um, I had heard they were maybe going to make a new live, but now I don't know if they're actually going to bother making a new live because people are kind of like the new MPC and with the new 64 positions since they moved to the corner pad thing on like the live 3, you know. I think that kind of is replacing the force. And I mean, I almost oh man, when they brought out the newest MPC, the XL, I had a little a moment of gear envy. Like I'm like, oh man, I bought the live. I could have waited for that, but I'm like, you know what? The live is definitely fits my lifestyle better because that other one is just too big. It doesn't wouldn't fit on my desk right. I mean, 8 more gig of RAM is not going to really do much for me, honestly. 8 gig is already a lot. To have 8 gig already is plenty. To have 16 is just, it's not going to do much more for me. At least not at this point. And I really dig having the speakers built in. Those speakers sound really good, you know. I can hook those up to my computer or whatever and use that thing as an audio interface and just have the sound come out of that like a sound bar. It's just really nice as well. I know. Well, we'll see what happens. They were supposed to actually interesting fact that I heard from some of my industry people who I've talked to is that the Key 61 was originally going to be a force. They were going to make that into the Akai a new Akai force and have all the pads going across it, the whole thing and but they decided nah, we're going to go with the MPC instead, and they did. And as you can see, that's where we're at. Yeah, the MPC. It was interesting because when I first got my MPC, the first MPC I got the one night. I got a bonus at Christmas one year, and so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try an MPC because I have wanted a sampler for so long, like an actual physical sampler, but I just couldn't. I wanted a keyboard sampler was what I wanted, but there wasn't one. You know what I mean? There was all there was these little pad machines. All the other it seemed like samplers were kind of like the past. Nobody was doing samplers anymore in my head, and the MPC just didn't seem to fit my music style. And but I didn't realize that it did. You know what I mean? I looked at it and I saw 16 pads and I thought that's a drum machine. You know what I mean? That's a drum machine. That's a triggering, a sample triggering machine. That is not an instrument the way I want it to be. And I was wicked wrong. Wicked wrong. When I got the one, and I still didn't realize it with the one, because I got the one and I brought it home and I plugged it in and I played with it and I was like, yeah, it's all right. It's interesting. I guess I'll play with it a little more and I'll get around to it. And then they brought out the keyboard one and the 61. The Key 61 came out that summer, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go get and grab one of those and see what's what. That's a keyboard. It's got to be able to. Little did I know I could have done just used the MPC one the same way with the keyboard at the time, but once I figured out what was what and that was when they also brought out all their new instrument devices type thing. It kind of came down at once. It was like a big bunch of new features all at once kind of came out with the Key 61 that weren't there before. Um, oh yeah, man, the MPC is amazing. I had no idea that it was as capable as it is. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I mean, the only I think well, I think they fixed the timing situation. I'm not sure if they did or didn't, but I think as far as time signatures, I'm not sure if they did or didn't. I haven't really played with it. It doesn't really hurt me much because most stuff I do is 4/4 anyway type thing, um, or in that or can be adjusted to 4/4. But for other people, like I've tried to do some waltz type music because I do Irish music as well. I do some you know there's a lot of Irish waltz music, and there's a lot of other Irish music that uses different timing. But most of it can fit and be shoved into 4/4 one way or another. You can get it on a 16 beat, you know, 16 beat, you know, setup type thing, like four beats per measure and that type of thing. Four measures and whatnot. Yeah, I'll tell you, man. Though, but they really did get me over on the MPC bench. You know, the MPC side now, though, because I really now that I'm like, you know, and if they just stuck, of the features they did not give us, the one that I would have loved more than anything, hardware wise, hardware features on the Live 3 and on this new MPC XL is if they'd just given us a stupid video out. Uh, so the time signature's still broken for you. Oh well, hopefully they'll work that out. Sorry, my phone just beeped. That was my telling me my son's battery is low. I don't know why he never charges his phone. Anyway, but the I just totally lost my train of thought. But I mean, no, I've definitely have like I just wish if that's what it was, a video out. If they'd just given us a video out on that uh, on the MPC hardware, I would have a whole different respect for the whole thing because it would be like right now it's like I've got to use the software and the hardware together to do a good video. You know what I mean? To show you what's happening, or I've got to try and aim a camera at a flat screen on my live, and it just never comes out as nice. You know, it never looks as nice. If we had a video out off there like an HDMI, I could run the HDMI to a video capture recorder and go that route. I was told there is need to set up. Not sure what you mean. Set up my project. How? You mean is there a way to do it to get it to? Put video out or get video out of there. I'm not sure what you're referring to. But the if they just given us a way to export the video from there to an HDMI, I could have run that HDMI in my computer and then grabbed my had a camera on the unit just so you could see what I was doing, but you'd see a perfect representation of the screen uh, on your screen when you were looking at the tutorial. I just thought that would be pretty handy for for everybody basically, because you'd be able to see exactly what I did, nice and clear, instead of having it be blurring and accidentally forgetting to turn off the autofocus and the camera's pulsing in and out, and But well, what are you gonna do? There is a way, actually. I did hear from one of the people I was talking to, hardware guy. He was saying that the board does have the board in there with some hardware additions. You could easily put or you could put an HDMI out on there, but it, basically void the warranty for one thing. Two, it would, there's no real guarantee. You know what I mean? It might not work, and something could get damaged, and also that you would need software to drive the HDMI out, even with the hardware there, and the software might not be there. So I was like, okay, it sounds like a lose-lose situation. I think I'll just leave it the way it is. Anyway, so yeah, good times. All right, so that does work for the side here. That's gonna could stick the four knobs on there. Do you use a seek track at all? Just curious. just accidentally closed the chat. Bring that back here. There we go. Oh, you have a seat track. Nice. Yeah, that's right now. That's been my one of my favorite little devices, just because it's just so small and does so much stuff. It's crazy. I've actually got some other experiments I want to do with it as well. That, for example, one is that, let's see here if I can actually I can show you this on here, but it doesn't really work the way I would want it to. But you can go, if I built a combinator on here, right, I can drop one in here. Everything. Yeah, I'm just too far down the list here. If we build a combinator right here, and I drop this right here, and I can throw in two of the MIDI instruments, like the one that I had in before where I was changing channels on. And let me get this instrument right here. This is actually kind of an interesting concept that I came up with on this. There's no way to do it with the instrument itself, but if you go ahead and I go and let me let you hear these individually first. All right, so if I go over to the piano and I turn I'm going to go to these two right here, the last two, which perk 1 and perk 2, which should be, let's see, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, and it should be 6 and 7. Yeah, 6 and 7, channel 6 and 7. So I'm going to change this one to 6. And I'm just going to leave this one off for a minute. We're not going to. Let's turn this off for a second. Boom. And let's see, 6, and then that's right. I want to go to Focusrite, and so I'm going to go over here, and channel 6, I'm going to change this to a piano, and I want go with this one, 80s layers. Okay. Oop, what is going on? Oh, that's because I have to go into this. That's probably why. Let me try this out here. Go somewhere else. Actually, let's turn this device, get rid of it for a minute. So I have you up here. I'm just trying to figure out why this is actually doing that. I guess it's kind of a weird. There's no feedback going on here. Huh. Very weird. Well, the concept is that. I'll tell you what the concept is, and you can see what you think of it. The point was that if you had, where did that come from? Oh, hold on. That's what's going on. That's a physical thing. I figured it out. All right, never mind. My I had my seek track was on top of my keyboard and pressing the buttons. I'm like, what is going on? Why is that happening? Um, but okay, so we go. Okay, so we got a piano there. Now, if I throw a second one of these in here, and we put it to the same, or to a different instrument, but on the same, C track. So we'll go to 7 this time. And now I go over here to 7, which is perk 2. And we add, we'll say, this would be a good one. We'll use strings. This would be a good one to compare with. Okay. We got, that's what I'm getting, where I'm getting to with this thing. Because on the, on many of the Yamaha keyboards, the way that they make kind of advanced sounds is using multiple AWM synthesizers or AWM sounds and layering them. Like on, for example, the CS1X, one of my favorite older keyboards, it had channels 1 through 4, and 1 through 4 would be different instruments. So I could go in here and I could be like, okay, so on channel 1, I'm going to put a piano. Channel 2, I'm going to put an organ, whatever. And then I could even go, grab that guy right there, and I could even go further. I could go, there were 4 channels, so I could throw another one in here and go, this one goes to channel 8. And channel 8, which is going to be my first AWM synthesizer, right over here. Boom. Take this down here, and let's change the sound because that's a sample that I used. It's not great. We'll go to Bell, get this right here. And then, of course, you can go out to the main windows here, the main sound design windows on this, and you can go to, and we can pan one. So we'll pan this guy this way, and we'll go to drums. This is kind of a little complicated in a sense because the way that they consider one a drum and one not. But yeah, now if we play it. It gives you this like multiple. Yeah, Yamaha does do things a little different. Everybody does, you know what I mean? But that's the way they did it on their old synthesizers, and the newer ones they still do kind of the same thing, like on the Montage and the Modi X, but now they've got the processing power to not rely on MIDI channels. Back in the day, they didn't have the processing power to not rely on MIDI channels. You couldn't stack 4 synthesizers on a channel and then have the other channels that just didn't have enough oomph to do it, because also it takes up polyphony, of course. And the CS1X, for example, was a 32 voice polyphony synthesizer. So if you had, more than one performance voice like that, you could quickly suck your, performance straight out of the keyboard. I mean, if you do a 3-finger chord, every time you hit, and it was 4, layers, so you'd be at 12 notes. That's 12 notes out the window. To use 2 hands on that same thing, you might be, you might have just flatlined your whole synthesizer. You're not going to have a lot of, performances that you can do with that, that sound, or that many layers. Of course, the other advantage of that, which you can't do here, unfortunately, yet, because there's no way to split these on here yet. But this is actually something I've been talking to, because I'm on this again. I'm on with Yamaha's development team, and I've been trying to get them to add splits to this, because I'm like, if we could have splits and we could take and forward sounds to multiple channels on there, we could do some pretty cool stuff. Also, I want them to add a few. I've given them a list of things, basically wish list, and they're like, "Oh, we'll look at it." And I'm like, and then bugs. Of course, there are a few little bugs that I bumped into, but it's overall, though, I love this thing. It's real fun to play with, and it sounds nice. Um, for I mean, for a $300 or $200 synthesizer. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, dude, this is. I got my. Let me just. I've got my right there. I've got my montage M6. Wait, can you see that? I don't know if you can see that or not. M6 and the right under my Key 61. That's my that's my best keyboard is the M6 or the not M6. There's no, it's not. It's just the Montage 6. Yeah, it's M6. It's not. I'm thinking it's not the Mode DX M6. It's just the M6. Yeah, incredible sounding synthesizer. Super fun to use. Super fun to play. Um, I just don't get to do a lot with it, and I've actually thought of selling it because I'm like, this. In a way, it's kind of like, I mean, I bought it for one big reason, and the big reason was that it had the AN1X in it, basically, which is their analog synthesizer from the '90s, which was really good. Uh, you know. Oh, how's the polyphony on that? Yeah, the M6 is it kind of is a beast, and it's like I feel like I could get rid of almost every other keyboard I have in here, except for my Key 61. I feel like those two units are pretty much everything right there. You know what I mean? Um, I've got you've seen if you've seen many of my videos, I've got like some ridiculous number of keyboards in here. I've got a ton of analog synthesizers. I've got a lot of the Behringer type stuff. I've got TD3s, TD3 MOs. I've got the what I forget they call it, the producer series there, like with the Crave and Spice and they're all just here, and I use them. But I mean, like mostly they're here for you know for videos. I use them for videos mostly. I do use them for some production. Um, Mostly to sample though into my MPC stuff because uh, they're just not like, especially the monophonic ones. They're just not that. Oh, dig deeper into the montage M6 before I let go. Is that what you're saying? I mean, like I feel I'm gonna keep it. I'm not gonna get rid of it. It's probably that one will probably be here till I die. Because I'm telling you, that's the rest of my synthesizers though. Like my CS1X, CS2X, AN1X, um, got an MX49. I've got a bunch of keyboards I could let go of and not miss them at all. They're all kind of jammed into the Montage M6. And the playability of it is just it feels so nice. The keys on it feel wicked responsive. I'm not a piano player like a. I don't need weighted keys. I have a lot of people come at me about about the, oh, you just like synth keys. Why don't you why don't you play piano keys? Why don't you get an 88 key? I'm like, first of all, I don't have room for an 88 key in here. It would be just too big for the room. And second, I'm a programmer, so all day long I've been programming for. How old am I now? I've been a programmer for like professionally for 36, 38 years. And Yeah, 36, at least 36 years. And I mean, like I'm fighting carpal tunnel all the time. I'm always doing my little stretches and trying to keep my metacarpals in reasonable shape. I'm like, and playing a regular piano does not help that out. I have a regular piano upstairs. I have a Behringer electric piano that I bought years ago. My daughter was taking piano lessons. They told me that she needed a real piano to practice on. So I got a weighted key, 88 key keyboard piano upstairs type thing. And I play around with it every once in a while. But when I play it, man, after about 40 minutes, my wrists, I can feel the pain, and I'm like, yeah, it's just not. It doesn't feel as nice to me as synth keys. I like a good synth key feel. Um, and the Akai MPK keyboards, the MPC keyboard, I like that one, and the Yamaha, this latest batch of Yamaha keyboards, nice and soft, and they feel. I love the feel of them. Whenever I hear somebody say that I don't like the keyboards on the Yamahas, I'm like, dude, are you crazy? Yeah. Um, no, I love it. I do love it. Yeah, that thing will be here forever. I mean, especially with the that they brought that what do you call it? This. My favorite thing about the montage is, believe it or not, let me see. I think that's not it. Hold on. Here we go. Let me drop this on here. Sorry. Yeah, here we go. Here's the Montage M as software, fully software version of it. Let me go onto the right screen here. Because they have that ESP software or whatever. This right here, the expanded synthesizer plugin. And that you can actually go through and program your sounds and transfer your sounds and all have the library. Plus, you have a full patch editor in here. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's got all the sounds there that you've got from the unit. Plus, I mean, it's much nicer to edit things in here than it is on the actual device. In my opinion, I do like having a full screen editor. That's just a nice feeling to be able to jump around it and got some configuration to fix there. Something must have got off on that. I'll figure that out after. But yeah, it's just very nice to be able to use that software. And when I heard that they were bringing it out, I was like, okay, that's interesting, because this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And they, when they brought it out for the MoDX M, the latest MoDX synthesizer, and they said they were going to make it, the software basically compatible or between the two. But the MoDX M, I forget what there is a slight difference between the two units. They're changing it so that the interface is different for the MoDX M. You'll have the same capabilities. That's what it is between the two. Like, you won't see the extra dials and that type of thing on the MoDX M when you're editing it on here. But the sound, I did notice a slight. I mean, if you listen to the DSPs on the Montage are definitely cleaner than they are on the MoDX. Yeah, that's what I like to do right there. Is exactly what you right here. Boom, edit and oh, you can't see what I'm pointing to because it's on the other screen. But the edit and play on the computer and move to, yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's nice because, and also it's, because the hardware is, it's nice to have the hardware, but it's, it's bigger. It's kind of in the way a lot of the times, but. And like I use like I said, my MPK 249 here. It's a 49 key keyboard. It's one octave less. May not seem like a lot, but it fits on my desk nice. So that's my favorite. Full. I'll say, well, near full size keyboard. The keys are The width is about right. I think they're pretty much right, but the length is just they're a little short, uh, compared to other keys. But it definitely feels nice, and I've just I've had an Akai MPK since for a long time. This one I've had for years. I think I got it in oh my gosh, maybe 2012, 2013, something like that. I've had it a long time, and it works great. So I've had a lot of people actually ask, about where I got the red one because it's red, and it looks. If you look at it, it looks kind of like a bigger version of the new MPC Key 37, but without the screen. Obviously, it's got just a little blue screen on it, um, and it's got 8 sliders, 8 knobs. Got all the interface stuff here for. It does play nice. Feels good to use. Anyway, what time is it? It's 11. Oh man, I should pull the plug. I got work in the morning. Oh, let's see here. Let's see who's. Trying to see who's in the room. Oh, it's just me and you. All right. I was like, okay, I guess I'm showing up on the screen as the other participant because concurrent viewers. I have a thing that shows me how many people are here and has me showing as a separate viewer because I accidentally shut down my chat window in OBS and rather than try and figure out how to get it back open quick, I just jumped and opened a browser and using that instead. Anyway, man. Uh, all right. Well, I really should pull the plug because I got to get up tomorrow at 5 for work. So I will. I appreciate you hanging out, Matt. Thank you for coming along and chatting with me. I appreciate that a lot because it's. I'm just trying to get back in on the. Yeah, man, I got oh man, projects at work. So anyway, man, well, have an awesome night. I'm gonna try and do this a couple times a week, and I'm just trying to get going on the streaming again, and we'll see what happens. All right, man. Thank you very much. Have a great night. All right. I'll talk to you later.